So I'll pass it over to the man, the myth, the legend, Corey. Thanks for taking the time here, sir.
Thank you, Coach Kevin. Thanks for showing up here, guys. Okay, a little bit about me. Small electrical company in the Vancouver area. There's 10 of us. We do small average job size stuff, a lot of service calls. I'm cherry picking a few larger jobs this year just to help with revenue. If anyone, I've heard a few guys here say, we're doing small average job size service calls and our revenue is starting to go down. Gross margin's going up. So it's a bit of an issue. So we're trying to add in some bigger jobs as well. Thank you to Nice Job. I have over 900 total reviews. I think 550 are on Google. So we are definitely customer obsessed. The whole customer journey, every decision I make is basically based on how the client would sort of view that decision and how are they going to feel as they go through my journey. Service electrical. We do some residential, some custom homes, some commercial as well. Like Kevin was saying, I have an extremely systemized business. So that's not all technology. That is having the right people in the right role, really defined roles. So, hey, Mel, when this happens, I want you to do this. And same with software. We use Jobber. We don't half use it. We fully use it. We use LiveSwitch. We don't half use LiveSwitch. We fully use it. And that goes with everything I purchase for software. This year, I didn't know about this stuff before, but apparently you can be an ambassador for these companies. So I'm a LiveSwitch ambassador this year. I'm a BTA ambassador, and I'm a Jobber ambassador. And if anyone has questions about some of this sort of influencing, making money from this sort of stuff, ask me about it because I didn't know about it like a year ago, and I'm actually loving doing it. Jobber flew me down to Vegas this year for 5 episodes of a podcast. At the Win, all expenses paid. I was like, this is awesome. I thought it was way better than my electrical company. So I'm gonna be diving more into that. Okay, we're gonna talk about virtually estimating with video and AI, primarily using a software called LiveSwitch. And I'm going to add in some other little systems of what I think a modern service business should have, and hopefully some little nuggets and push you guys towards adding some of these things into your business. So this is the current state of the union. Is Kevin in here? Is he not in here? I added him in my slide using AI. Anyways, I don't know about you guys. Mine, I've seen a lot worse. I have around 48% conversion on all the quotes I do. And I think it's roughly 100 quotes a month. So a lot of quotes, a lot of leads. Like, I just started doing meta ads. I think we have like 70 leads a week coming in right now. So for 100 quotes, and we get about 50% of those. And I've seen a lot of other guys prep here. I've seen a lot of guys down in the 20s. Right? So you can imagine how many quotes you're doing and you're not winning and you're driving around for all these quotes. Imagine I was driving around for 100 quotes a month. The obvious 3, fuel, maintenance, and stress. I think I was like $100 a week on fuel before, the mechanic hitting me up for $1,000 in, fixing my car all the time. And then the stress, driving around Vancouver in the rain, scheduling 3, 4, 5 estimates at a time. And I would just come home and I just feel so rattled from just driving from quote to quote. And maybe people are doing that multiple times a day. Time out a day. This is still something I struggle with. Like even now, I don't do everything virtually, but when a contractor, someone's like, hey, we're doing a site walkthrough, like I can't really do those on video. So I'll have to go, but it's an hour drive there. It's an hour chitty chatting and it's an hour drive back. Like I feel like it kills my day. And then after hours estimating. So that's like, unless you're getting in the truck and actually doing the estimate, you're coming back. Maybe you did 4 estimates and now you got to come home, or maybe the next day you got to have that day blocked off to do all of those estimates. And I hope you guys aren't doing them at night. Slow quoting process. This is a huge one. So I want to paint a picture for you guys here. It's Monday. The client has a new EV coming. They need an EV charger, maybe a panel change. They're searching around online and they find Van City Electric. Okay, we have online booking with scheduling, right? So they're like, oh, damn. Oh, and he does virtual estimates, right? So they book it for a Tuesday, a virtual estimate for a Tuesday. Now, I have some automation set up. So as soon as they add themselves as a client to Jobber, they're going to get a welcome email, right? So they're thinking, wow, these guys are pretty on top of it. Then they're getting a client guide, a beautiful client guide showing work we've done before, reviews, pictures, a little bit about the team. And now they've got the appointment reminder for the Tuesday for the virtual estimate. Great. Love it. Now they're thinking, I should get another quote. I should get 2 quotes. They call another company. Hopefully the company picks up. Maybe they don't. The guy says, I need to come out in person. I'm in the area Thursday. I'll come by 3:00. So now Tuesday comes. I do my virtual estimate. I'm almost done the quote, or I am done the quote by the end of the virtual estimate. And I say, hey, it's going to be $4,000. You know what? We actually have a spot open Thursday. Do you want to get booked in? Now, maybe I snag that client right there. Maybe I don't. This is where they usually hum and haw. Maybe you get them. Now they say, well, I got another quote Thursday. Okay, no problem. Now it's, maybe Wednesday, Thursday. My CRM is following up, right? Hey, have you seen the quote? Would you like to move ahead? Well, here's a little discount. Would you like to move ahead, right? Now it's Thursday. The other guy, this is a problem I see a lot of guys do. They don't enter the lead in their CRM, right? They write in their calendar, meet Tom on Thursday at this address. So that client doesn't get a welcome email. They don't get a client guide. They don't get an appointment reminder. They just get a guy showing up in a truck on Thursday. Well, and you can think the client using my system has got 6 or 7 touch points for me all along the way. Who do we think is really going to win that job? And that's kind of this battle we're trying to fight right now. And this is the same battle as back in the day when guys didn't have phones, then they got pagers, right? The guys with pagers were able to do more. Then some guys got cell phones, then they got flip phones. Then it was like guys with iPhones. Like all that technology all along the way allowed us to do more with less. And all along the way, someone would be fighting those new things, right? I don't need an iPhone. I'm good with my BlackBerry. I don't need a keyboard. You know what I mean? So just think about that. Let's look at it by the stats. Try to convince you guys with numbers. 90% of construction leaders agree that digital solutions were necessary to boost productivity and keep up with demand, right? That's what I just mentioned. This virtual estimating is just the new version of the cell phone, and something else will come after virtual estimating. These are my numbers from last year. I had 1,924 leads. I did 828 estimates. And so my goal this year was 1.5 million in sales. I just did the math. So I need 2,600 leads this year, and I need to do 1,100 estimates. So how am I going to do 300 more estimates this year without adding some crappy overhead, right? Another guy in a truck driving around to 300 estimates. I don't want to do that. I'd rather pay, how much is LiveSwitch? There we go. I'd rather pay that and add it to my fixed expenses. There it goes. How can we do more without raising overhead? 15% increase in customer satisfaction and a 20% increase in sales. I'm seeing this on video. When I'm done these virtual estimates, the client is constantly going, why isn't everyone doing this? Like, this seems like a total no-brainer. And I have them all on film. I clip them. I post them online all the time. Efficiency. When can we use technology? We can get more done with fewer errors. This is a nice one. It's you and the client face to face. They were telling you exactly what they want. You have it on video. I don't take any notes anymore. I let the AI take all the notes for me. I let it build the scope of work, the job description. I even made a prompt the other day where say we talked about an electrical job, it would come up with a rough wire checklist for my guys and a finishing checklist for my guys. So that's using AI with the video. So we can definitely get a lot more efficient. Quoting hours. So like I was just saying, 1 hour to drive out to a quote, 1 hour to chat with the client, and 1 hour to drive back to the office. So 3 hours down to, I usually do like a 45-minute virtual estimate basically. And a lot of those virtual estimates, I'm basically done the quote by the end of the call. So 3 hours down to 1, 3,000 hours down to 1,000. I did the math. It's 248 man days of not driving around. Even if you don't like my math, call it 100 man days, Chase. 100 man days you're saving. So, and it's just a numbers game. And I've seen BTA, the way they do their sales. Danny has showed me, look, if I need this many members, I need this many leads. And so I'm just trying to get more done. Right now I'm working on getting more leads in so that I can do more quotes, so that I can hit my revenue goal. That's all I'm doing. And I want to do it with lower fixed costs. I don't want to put another truck on the road, and I don't want to spend the time driving around to all these. Let's think about it from the client's point of view, which we should all be doing much more of. I should have had this slide in before my other one. This is straight out of ChatGPT, but I thought it nailed it. Customers want convenience. You match the format and responsiveness to how they shop, and then guess what? We just end up there, right? So they love Amazon and Uber and DoorDash. This is how they want to shop. It doesn't matter about us. I know we just talked about us saving time and hours and maintenance and all that. This is what really matters. If they want to shop this way, like if I just want to film a quick video with someone for my new heat pump or whatever, then I need a company to just sort of be there the way I want to shop. I did have a client the other day. He said, I actually booked this because you did the virtual estimating. I was like, oh, sweet. Like I won a job because of it. So I think we all know this. When we are fast, they think we're more professional. So same with my automated emails, right? When they book online and they get a welcome email, they're thinking, wow, these guys are really on top of it. Even though I might be golfing, right? That's the idea. It lets them move from idea to price range. So I don't know about you guys, but the most questions I get are around price. How much, constantly how much. When you're at a home show, it's all they care about it. They're not asking how many Google reviews you have or all that stuff you're dying for them to ask. They're just like, how much for an EV charger? So let's give them their answer quick. Less disruption to their day. Of course, if they're getting multiple quotes, right? You got 3 trades guys coming to your house. They're not all going to come back to back. That's not going to happen, right? So 3 huge gaps in their week. Clear communication. I really like this. So, and this, I carry this from this meeting all the way to my guys. So this recorded video, like there's no mistaking what they're asking for, right? I had a lady, she said, I want strip lighting behind my mirror, and I missed it. This was before I was using LiveSwitch. I forget what I was using. I was using like Evernote to record conversations. Anyways, I was like, no, that's not in the quote. And she's like, no, I definitely told you about it. I went back to the recording and I was like, yeah, she did say it. I missed it. So really clear communication. I give these recorded videos to my production manager and the guys and the client as well. So we're all on the same page. My electricians are showing up. They know like the tone of the client. They know like, what was the front door? Can I roll my pack out up to the front door? I just got a text last night from my guys saying like, I just watched this video and I heard you say my guys will make some magic happen, and we were all laughing about it because they're watching the video before they go to the job. They were probably watching it last night for a job that's happening today. Perceived professionalism and modernity. Modernity. I knew I should have deleted that word. Yeah. If you are a guy showing up in a truck on a Thursday with no notifications, you're just not going to be perceived as, an up and coming company with, new ideas and very professional. This could be the Canadian me, but the I don't like the whole like dealing with their their objections and trying to get the sale like so hardcore. Can we get the husband and wife at the table so I can close this deal? I like that it's on Zoom or on LiveSwitch, and I'm going, hey, I got an opening Thursday. Are you interested? Oh, you're waiting for another quote? No problem. I don't know. It's not so hard hitting. I'll let Jobber do the follow up a little bit. What else we got? Comfortable with tech. I think we all are a little bit more comfortable with tech. We got our grandma's doing FaceTime now. My mom and dad, they're all in their 70s. They got iPads. They're used to doing a face-to-face call. Just remember that if you're worried about it. I've had a few clients, and you don't always have to do the virtual. I've had a few clients say, look, I'm just super old. I don't want to do the virtual. I'm most likely giving you this job. Like, would you come by? And yeah, no problem. I can come by. I've had a few clients that have their daughter on site, for tech support. Hey, my daughter's here, but LiveSwitch is very user friendly. So when I send the message from LiveSwitch, it is just a text message link to the client's phone. They are just clicking the link. Hey, it's Corey. I'm online. Jump on. Right. And then you're on the call. So there's no software for them to download. They don't have to know how to use it. Like I said before, they expect instant, right? Imagine with Amazon, you when the thing left the factory and now it's in this town and blah, that's what they're kind of expecting. And then you give them I'll see you Thursday at 3. And this was just a stat I found. Receive quote in 2 hours, 4 times more likely to buy, right? So I think one of you guys was saying, it was the other guy, he left, but it was like he has an idea of the price, he gets the price, it's within the ballpark. I like this company, I'm pulling the trigger, I'm moving forward. Okay, let's talk about integrating this into our business. These are just a few things that I just feel like modern businesses should have. And I feel like we're all here trying to get better. We are these modern businesses. So I mentioned this automated lead response with client guide. This is a no-brainer. I've seen some guys, so I'm doing an email and a client guide. I've seen some people do a few days of videos. Hey, it's day 1 of being a Van City client. We're so happy to have you. Here's a little bit about us. Hey, it's day 3 of this. Day 4. So the other thing with that is if you ever sign up for an app or something, or like a new product or something, they will onboard you. You don't really know it, but they are onboarding. They're getting you comfortable with the system. That's why I like adding clients into Jobber with the appointment reminders. I'm getting them used to receiving communication from us. Oh, there's a friendly picture. Corey's arriving at 3, blah, blah, blah. They're getting used to it. Where was I on there? Oh yeah. Online booking scheduled. So we have full online booking. I'm hoping you guys do too, or you have some version of online booking. Maybe you can't book a custom house with online booking, but could you book an appointment to talk to someone, to see them? Let them schedule it. I've noticed my clients like to come in many different ways. So I have a form on the back of the website. If they want to fill out a form and kind of ghost, that's okay. We'll reach out. We have online booking. What else? They can call, Mel, pick up. Specific person handling all leads. Yeah. So I have Mel in the office. I think this is a big role. I think if you're trying to handle all the leads yourself, you're kind of kidding yourself. I've done this a few times where I'm like, I'm going to pick up all the calls. It's not going to happen. We need someone handling all the lead intake, scheduling these virtual estimates, leads ending up in your CRM. I've worked really hard on this. So local service ads that go right into your CRM. Then they start getting the automations right away. Meta ads, they fill out a form, they end up in your CRM automatically. Form from your website, that form ends up in your CRM automatically. Pre-made pricing ready. So when I'm doing the virtual estimate, remember we said speed equals professionalism, right? If someone says to me, hey, Corey, I'm thinking about doing a backup generator, a home backup generator, and I go, Yeah, they're around 25,000. Like if I said, oh, I need to, let me check, I'll get back to you. That's not, it's not speaking that I've done a lot of these jobs. I'm really professional. So and especially if you're doing a virtual estimate, as they're talking on one screen, you want to be like trying to bang out that estimate on the other screen, and having pre-made pricing helps that. The correct software. Obviously, I've tried WhatsApp, FaceTime for this, right? I tried Zoom for a while. You can think about all these things though. WhatsApp is okay, if they have WhatsApp, right? FaceTime is okay if they're an Apple user. You can kind of use it if they're not an Apple user. It doesn't really work. Zoom, they have to download Zoom on their phone or it's on their laptop. They can't really walk around their house. So definitely talk to Ryan. He's a vendor with LiveSwitch. He's going to be here all week. Because LiveSwitch, I signed up for it because it was essentially made for virtual estimating. Then they added on the AI portion, which I think is the really important part. Charge for an on-site estimate. So just something to think about. I don't know if there's a total right answer here. I wanted, because if you make it free for an on-site estimate and then free for virtual, I think a lot of people might pick the on-site maybe. So you want to weed them out a little bit. So we just say, hey, it's $125 for an on-site estimate, and we'll credit it to you if you use us for the job. No one really books them on-sites anymore. But I can tell you, if you do an on-site for someone and you do the quote and they don't give you the job and then you bill them $125, it feels great. Like you are getting paid for your time. So nice. Well, we do 50% deposit. So credit card on file usually. Yeah. Just feels great that way. Yes. I went back. Okay, let's talk about LiveSwitch a little bit. I mentioned this already. We're going to text link to video call on the client's phone. So like I said, they are just clicking a link. They don't have to learn. There's no onboarding for them. Like all of these softwares, you're going to get a hub for all your videos, pictures, notes, AI reports. This is a big one. We'll talk about this in a minute. Full AI reporting. We're going to go into this a bit. LiveSwitch brought out the ability to fully prompt the AI on you doing something with the video, right? So it's going to watch the video for you. It's going to take a few minutes, and then it's going to spit out whatever you have prompted. So I used to only use this for virtual estimates, and then they were like, oh yeah, we added AI. And I was like, oh wow, this is actually way more powerful now. So now I can prompt that AI to quote the job for me, give me a budget, give me a job description, give me line items, give me a checklist, evaluate me as a salesman, evaluate the client, what their tone is like. I don't know. It's all in your imagination. I'm hoping we'll come up with some cool ones later. In-call notes. So if you want to take notes while you're on the video call, you can definitely do that. There's a little laser pointer, right? If you want to say, hey, it'll show up on the client's phone. Hey, can you point me over here? Right here. I need to see this. You could take pictures and they're all saved. So I'll do like picture of the panel sometimes. Like, hey, can you show me the panel? And then while they're showing me, I click the picture button. Receive call from your video. So, right now I'm away this week, so I don't want to do virtuals. So I gave my admin the link for LiveSwitch. So I said anyone who wants a quote this week, they can film their own video. So you don't have to be on the video. You could just and part of my jobber form at the very end, it's like they fill out the form, and at the very end, I just wrote on there, here, click this link if you want to film a video as well, right? So I get the form, plus now I get the video coming in. So nice. You can use that with your guys too if you want to do extras, change orders, right? You can just give them all the link. They'll film a video for your extra. And the client needs no software. I mentioned that. This is kind of the home screen of LiveSwitch. So these are all the different ways. So the general idea of LiveSwitch is just getting the video, and then using the AI with the video, right? And we can get the video anyway. So start a live video call. Schedule a live call like a Zoom meeting. Start your own video recording. I use this when I do my own site walkthroughs, or if you want your crew doing maybe a progress site walkthrough at the end of the day. If you have a video from somewhere else, you can add it in, take photos. I've never even used that, and then request content from your customers. So usually if I have a contractor or a client that I feel comfortable with, I'll send that to them. And I'll say, yeah, just film me a little video. Then I know what you're talking about. Tips. So you're going to be on these video calls. They're just like Zoom. There's just a couple things I noticed. Chill out, be friendly, give it some time, right? Software doesn't always work perfectly. They don't always have perfect reception. They'll be sort of like fumbling around a little bit, flipping the camera forward to back. So just be chill. If you're all uptight and like, too intense, it's just not going to be a nice video call. Like it just give it some time. Wi-Fi or cellular. If they are in the middle of their house and they have great Wi-Fi, that's awesome. If you're going to get them to go outside and look in the yard and stuff like this, you might want to just tell them, hey, flip your Wi-Fi off, go on cellular. I mentioned this before, start your quote on the call. So I have two screens. I have LiveSwitch on one screen. I'm just enjoying that. And then I have my Jobber on my other screen. And I'm trying to get the estimate done before the end of the call. It doesn't always happen. It's okay if you want to go to site. Not everything needs to be 100%. So the other day it was a service upgrade quote. The guy was kind of making some decisions based on my numbers. And I said, you know what, I'm going to send you over a budget based on what I've seen. And then I'm actually going to be near you in town on Thursday. I'll come by. And so I didn't actually end up revising that quote a whole lot. I don't think. I think we added to it, if anything. So it's still okay to go to site. You don't have to do everything by virtual. And then let them know the next step. So, hey, I'm going to get off of this video call. I'm going to work on this quote for you. I'm going to make sure it's perfect. And then I'm going to send it over. And I think talking about the calendar is not a bad idea of like, hey, next week we got Thursday and Friday open. Just keep that in the back of your mind. You're trying to like kind of act as if you have the job already, even though you don't. So here's the AI. So you can fully build your own prompts. My advice on this would be to use ChatGPT to build the prompts. So you would go to ChatGPT, you would say, hey, I have a video software where I'm going to record a video with a client, and I want you to quote the job for me. My base labor rate is $50 an hour. I mark my materials up 100%. And I want you to add 10% on for Visa and PST. Up where I live, we have this other tax, PST. I want you to build me a job description for the intro quote in Jobber, and then I want you to build me line items as well. Like you would tell ChatGPT that, and then help me build a really defined prompt. And ChatGPT would bust out this beautiful prompt that none of us would ever make off the top of our heads. So I would just say, that's just one thing for all of these. So it will measure space. I think I always get a lot of like, oh, really? So my buddy's a painter, and I was like, you should use LiveSwitch. And he was like, oh, I don't know. And so I built him a painting estimator on LiveSwitch. And I walked around my house and I just went, I want to paint this stairwell. I'd like to do the ceiling in my office, and it measured it all. It got it within a foot. I've also measured wire lengths with it too. So EV charger, I'm coming out of the panel, I'm going down the side of the house, and it's all from like a shaky video that the client took. And it got it like pretty damn good, right? So enough that you can build a price for sure. What else? It'll fully build an estimate. I have a very detailed electrical prompt where it will quote my job. I still have my own pricing, but I always get it to run that report just for fun, just to see like how close is it. There's even the odd day where I'm like, I'm just tired and I just don't want to do another quote. I don't want to crunch the numbers. If it's something that I don't have pre-made pricing for, like a custom thing, I'll let it rip. Yeah, I mentioned this, build a scope of work, line items. It'll do that for you. It takes all the notes for you, really, really good notes. I do this now when I do a site visit. I essentially, I'll just walk around like this with it. I just kind of enjoy the conversation. I walk around with the client. Oh yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, 2 feet here, oh, 2 pot lights here, blah, blah, blah. And it gets everything, as a lot of AI does. Inventory report. I haven't done this, but I've seen guys doing this. You know, they want to know the inventory of a van. What do you guys have in your van? What tools do you have in your van? Go film it with LiveSwitch, and then AI will give you the list. Oh, this guy's got 1 broom, 2 vacuums, blah, blah, blah. I'm actually curious what you guys would do with the open-ended prompt. I think if someone's thinking of something here, I want to hear about it later. I made a salesman evaluator where it evaluates me as a salesman. It's very interesting. Like, it will cut you down. It'll be like, you contradicted yourself. You didn't let the client know next steps. I've been thinking about it for hiring maybe. Why couldn't someone that you're hiring, why couldn't they film their own 2-minute video? Hey, I'm Bob. I'd love to work for Van City Electric. I'm really passionate about this, da-da-da. That way I don't have to meet with every single applicant in person. So there's a lot that can be done with it. Okay, here's my electrical estimator. So like I said, very detailed prompt. I've worked on this quite a bit. You can see here, this is just from a video. I didn't even curate this. This is just from a random video that I did with a client. It's looks like Margaret. Oh yeah, I remember this video now. We were replacing all the knob and tube in her house. So there you can see, there's the job description, some notes. This was all like this stuff I noticed. Attic is accessible and will be used to minimize openings. We didn't really talk about this in the video call. She was kind of just showing us the attic in the video. Like, they popped the hatch open and he was just showing me, the husband was showing me what the attic looked like, and it got all of this. Lath and plaster, it wasn't something I wrote down or prompted at all. It was just something me and the husband were talking about. Here's the second part of it. So here is it, assuming some things, approximate 8 to 10 foot ceilings. It got all of that from the video. It's gone out and got me prices and quantity of material and provided links to those prices so I can go get them. And then here's the hours. So assumptions based on scope of work. So it thought 52 hours, 4 hours for material pickup. These are all things I've sort of prompted in the background a little bit. It knows, my base hourly is 55 times the 60 hours. It knows that I want to do a 40% margin, and it knows I want to add 10% for Visa and PST. This is all back-end prompted stuff. I think this client on the video call, I think I said around $7,000. So it was $1,000 off. Not bad. And that was just me on the spot saying, I think it'll be a couple guys for these days, So we're going to finish on this. We can do questions. Are we going to keep doing the things the current way and accept our limits, add overhead? And we're not going to replace site visits, but we're just choosing when to do them. Right? It doesn't have to be all one way or all the other. I would just say add a few of these systems into your workflow, add a few virtual estimates in. I think by avoiding some gas and time basically pays for the software on its own. That's all I got. Thank you, guys. Question? Yes. Yeah, I'm open book. I'll send you anything. It comes with two. So I have myself and I have a remote estimator. They should log into their own. I tried this. They caught me and charged me more. Yeah. I had 4 of us on it for a while and they were like, hey, wait a second. And I was like, yeah. But when you send the link to your clients or to your crew in the field, like they don't need. It just opens in their browser. They record the video. So. Yes. For sure. I haven't had a lot of issues. I can't really even think of any issues really where someone couldn't. I think one, who knows? It was like, someone's like, I don't know, I have an old phone. It doesn't work. And I was like, let's just talk on the phone. Let's have a chat. Like sometimes you got to deviate a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And then just cut down the amount of times you go to site. Yeah. That's right. Thank you, man. Yes. I told it to go to Home Depot. Yes. Yeah. I also have a bunch of save pricing in Jobber, in JessCan, our wholesaler, but like AI can't really log into things right now. It's fully integrated with Jobber. So you can start calls straight from Jobber. So if you have a client profile up, it integrates with a lot of things, Zapier as well. It won't pull my pricing from Jobber. Yeah. If I wanted it to do it though, I would probably download my pricing as a CSV file and put it in the prompt. That's how you do it. Yeah. Yeah, I hear this. Sure. Yeah. I don't think so. Like, I feel like I like a video call where you're face to face. Like we're not standing beside each other looking at something. It's me and you right here. I don't know. It feels very personal to me. I'm very like friendly. So I think I don't know if you want someone on there that's like maybe a little cold or distant or introvert or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Question is that who when there is of soft say
So usually it's if it's a larger job size or a contractor, I might go out to site and I still film the live switch video though. I used to use Evernote, then I was like Apple Notes, and now it's like, what am I doing? I gotta just use LiveSwitch. Yeah. Because it picks up everything and then I can share it with my whole team. It's so good. So yeah. Yes.
oh
Oh, I might have prompted that. I might have prompted that. Yeah. Yeah. I actually don't know. Maybe Ryan does. I don't know. So when I did it with a length of wire, it actually told me whether it was like super confident, medium confident, or low confidence so it actually told me that. I forget what it. I know from talking to the programmers at LiveSwitch, they were telling me they were doing things like they know in a house there's a plug every 12 feet, or they know certain most windows are this size, or a 2x4 doors. I think yep 2x4 light fixtures. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Yeah. my painting quote was like legit. My buddy was like, "That's better than I would have done." And we double checked the measurement and it had it within a foot. So I think for painting, like 1 foot, I don't know, it's not bad. Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. My prompts. I'm like, just the other day I made another prompt for like, I don't know, that was checklist, but I was curious like what you guys are gonna come up with. But usually I'm just quoting, like, to me anyways, they're pretty simple electrical jobs. Like, it's a panel change. They're all the same to me. The price is already $3,000 in my CRM. I just need to kind of see the brand, what's around it. Yeah. Sure.
So good.
I never had Loom. I always use Zoom clips. I use Zoom clips because I'm already paying for Zoom. So why would I pay for Loom? But no, I haven't. I still use Zoom for team huddles, and everyone just uses Zoom kind of. So it's more of been virtual estimates, on-site walkthroughs. I definitely have proposed it to my guys. Right now for change orders, we have a form that we fill out. And I was like, wouldn't this be better? I just think, I don't think they wanted to do another new thing. So no. To me, this is better than Company Cam. It is very similar. Yeah. I don't think does Company Cam have AI prompting? It does. Okay, copycats. Let's not talk about Company Cam. Go for it. I know my total, I've done over 600 now. Yeah. Usually it's Mel explaining it. So, okay, here's our flow with me and Mel, my admin. Someone calls in. They're like, I need a new EV charger. So she'll go, sure, let's book you in Thursday. And they go, whoa, how much? She goes, let's book a virtual. She starts talking about it. Yeah, unless they online book it. Yeah, they could book it online, which they do. Yeah, local service ads and then meta ads. Google local service ads, I get the message and I have that integrated with Jobber. So those come straight in as a request and then Mel jumps on them. Same with meta ads. They come straight into Jobber. Yeah. Job costing. Tell me more. To what? Interesting. I don't know. I never even thought about that. We quote almost everything, right? So all my receipts just end up in Jobber and their labor is in Jobber. So it just gets job costed right there. You're thinking of what? Prompting it. I like this, right? You make a prompt. What? I'm going to tell you the value of the job. It's going to be $10,000. Interesting. Yeah, I'm thinking for electrical, like it would just never know. It would be tough for it, right? Like how much labor to put that light up and how much wire did you use? Yeah, tough one. Go, Ryan. Yep. Two things of my numbers have never changed since before COVID to now really is my gross margin and my conversion rate on quotes. I kind of always sit at 48% on those quotes. So people sometimes are curious, like, do you win as many? But I do all the virtual estimates, and Eli, my remote estimator, if someone sends over plans or something, he'll quote off of those, but my conversion rate is better. So I don't know if that's because it's me, the owner, or it's me face to face on video, but I'm basically all video guy, and my numbers are better than his. So no, I don't like time material. I always hover around 50% gross margin. I always have. Yeah. That's a great prompt. That's a great prompt right there. That could be part of the how am I as a salesman prompt, basically. Oh, yeah. I'm a chatter. Sometimes I just really like the person and I just want to hang out, honestly. I don't know. Yeah. I in the meeting sometimes I'm like, just shut up. You already got this job. Stop talking. Yeah. Yeah. Go for it. Our what? Yeah, I'm a 7 this year. So I shot in the 70s all last summer, basically. It was very enjoyable. Boom. Yeah, it's those automations and stuff are so nice. You know, the client guide, the welcome email, when they, another one is when they approve a quote, having a handoff email to your production team that's automated. You know, it just makes it seem like your company is so on top of things when really you don't have to be even in the office. Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
I did have two of my guys were on it. Yeah, they were doing okay. One guy, so I was talking about this earlier with someone. One guy had a low conversion rate, but a very high gross margin. So I was like, hey, Dustin, this is great. We're making lots of money on these few jobs that you won. I need you to dial it down a little bit because Matt over here is coming in around 50% gross margin at a 50% win rate on his quotes. So, and that's more of a tracking, you know, like, are they doing a good job or not? I'm looking at the data. That one's tough for me because like I nerd out on this stuff and I'm like psyched to get a new software and implement it and, you know, build all the systems. But I talk to a lot of guys here where they're like, yeah, I got it. Like Aiden, you said this week, you're like, I got LiveSwitch. I'm not fully using it. You know, that's like what I hear a lot of times. And that's like, it's not just LiveSwitch, it's all that stuff, right? It's like your buddies all said that you need Jobber. So you sign up for Jobber and then you kind of use it, but you don't really fully use it. But when you fully use it, it becomes super powerful. So go, Ryan. I just have my Van City branding, like that wall. Yeah. Yeah, it's full. You can put your logo all over in there. I actually do on there. Looks great. Yeah. Hold on. That's a good question. No, I think in my office, I have a wall wrapped in my office with my branding. So I don't. They were coming in my office. Yeah. But you can have virtual background. Yeah. Yeah. Go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we all ran on the baby with the house. So, you do the eyes of the table. Yes.
Yeah. Or the guys are fine when you do go outside, you're still using it. That's kind of the thing. Totally. Close the deal. Yeah. No.
I do see.
I'm not. Yeah, I mean there obviously is, but I'm not using it for the before and after. I know my buddy Steven is definitely sending the link to his guys daily, like a daily, like here's what we got done today. So he's actually using it a little differently than I have. It is. And the AI is free right now, not forever, but yeah. So I have seen a few guys that are like, they'll record the site before and then when they leave. And so there's none of this. Like I've had a few lately where someone's like, you chipped our tile. And I was like, we're like, no, we're pretty sure we didn't chip that tile. And now you're just in a tug of war with the client. Be nice to have a video. Yeah, it's kind of open-ended, right? With the AI. Like, I'm thinking that's what Steven is using it for, right? On the daily, he's probably watching those, or maybe you don't want to watch them. You just have AI evaluate it. But yeah, my guys do a checklist in Jobber at the end of the day with pictures. It's been good enough for us. So I haven't implemented that, but yeah. Interesting. See, I just haven't had a problem with it. That's why I haven't thought about it or built a system around it. Yeah. No, we just like a lot of reviews, happy clients. So it's just, sort of try to fix things that are broken. Yeah. My estimates. It could. I was saying I could download my pricing and put it in as the prompt. Pretty easy, yeah. If you've used Jobber, the quote now is pretty nice. Like you can have a picture of the team, you can have a description of the project, then the line items. So I use it to build that description. So it makes a beautiful, yeah. But the integration, I haven't been using it a lot, but I think it'll throw the video link or the link to the, what do you want to call that? The hub where everything is in your Jobber. It'll be right in there. Yeah. All right. Good. Yes. Go, Ryan. Interesting. To me, I'm not finding the video estimate so different than the on-site estimate. I don't feel like it's less personal. I feel like it's just as personal. I just feel like I'm there with them and I'm looking at work that I've looked at a million times. And so I'm just enjoying the call with them. Honestly, I don't take notes during the call. If it is a smaller, easier job that I think I can make the quote on the spot and I have saved pricing, I will do that. Otherwise, I'll literally just sit and chat with the client and go through it and come up with solutions with them. But it's like, I feel like I'm just doing an on-site walkthrough. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. I showed that on that one screen. I also tried to upload a video to ChatGPT to see if I could mock LiveSwitch. Can't do it. So, yeah, I'm just something about the company. They're really good people and they're very interested in how we're all using LiveSwitch. They've sent programmers to my office before just to see how I tinker with it. Same with new features. You know, I was like, you should have an integration with Jobber. You should have a Zapier integration. They built all of that. So part of that AI prompting is I was like, you know, it would be really cool if we could get something out of the AI besides just words. Could I get pictures? I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like the more flexible it gets, the more things we can build. So they're super great about that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, man.